So if you are sitting at your desk, if you have your feet down, have them about a hip's width apart. Just feel the weight of your feet in the floor and your sits bones in your chair. Align your shoulders with your hips, and your ears with your shoulders as best you can. But when you do this, it's good to kind of just lengthen. Imagine your head is lengthening away from your shoulders, and then you're just kind of gliding your head back. Shayla, if you could just mute everyone, please. Go ahead and mute yourself. Thank you. And imagine your spine now as a beautiful string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just imagine you're lengthening your spine. Put some space in between your vertebrae. Just think tall. Then go to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, your mouth, back of the tongue, the jaw. Relax your temples, your ears, the inner ear, the back of the head, the neck, and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades just to drop down. Relax your throat and chest and belly and all of your limbs. So just feel nice and relaxed. Allow all the tense bits to sort of soften. So even just doing that and taking a breath does go a long way to helping you if you can't manage anything else in your practice. Be aware of the sensations of the breath as you inhale and exhale. The nostrils, thoracic area, the belly. And then just, we have a lot of sensory information around us, particularly those, we're all on Zoom, so we're all at home. Some people living with people, some people living with pets, some people living in high traffic areas. But try to have the mind not follow the truck up the road. Just notice the sound, just allow the sound to be there. So then it becomes, you have an awareness of the sensory information like smells and sound, but you just allow it to be a part of your environment. Becomes a part of your meditation. If you don't focus on it, it will disappear into the background. Then be aware of what's arising in your mind this evening, this morning, this afternoon. Trying to put some space in between the thoughts. Trying not to be critical of what you're thinking. So just allow the thoughts to arise and abide, and then just watch them as they dissipate. You don't give it any energy. It's not going anywhere. And bring to mind all those people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, the ones we have difficulty with, aversion for. Sometimes there might be very little reason. It's karma. So due to impermanence, Could be sitting across the table from the love of your life, and then all of a sudden the karma changes, it shifts, and your feelings change. Same thing could happen with the one you don't like, and then the strangers, of course. Of course, all the people we love in our life were maybe once strangers. So these relationships can change. And regardless, we feel so strongly about the ones we love, there's such a positive force in our life. But they, just as much as the one we don't like, want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And just like you and me, they all have, yes, even the one we don't like, this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we, come to these sessions with an intention in mind, an idea of, okay, so I'm coming, I want to do my practice. I'm coming, I want to motivate and dedicate for so-and-so. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. This was just Lama Yeshe all the way down the line here. So positive towards everyone. And when I go to back in the day, I would go and visit prison, one particular prison, Sierra Conservation and Rehabilitation Center. God, it was nothing like a conservation or rehabilitation center, but I went there. And when I told there was all men, when I told them that there was no negativity that can't be purified, you should have seen the look of relief on their face. It was amazing. So these practices were so meaningful for these guys. It was just very moving. Anyway, believe that for yourself as well. There is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically psychological. And so we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it and create positivity instead. So we start with this power of regret, sincerely regret, from the depths of your heart, anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we will experience suffering in the future. We don't want any more suffering, so it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as more suffering later on down the line. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want their future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. Just imagine he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light. There's a beautiful face, smiling, accepting you exactly as you are, turning up right now. Whatever's going on, it's totally fine. And he's got the right arm is crossed over the left. The left's holding a bell, so the left is closest to his heart. This represents wisdom. The right is holding a vajra that represents the indestructibility of compassion. And when they're crossed like that, it represents enlightenment, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. the very beings we've harmed and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So think of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think about, those beings who've harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So just make a strong aspiration to do this practice for all these people in our life, for all sentient beings. Well, this way we're making our life worthwhile. Of course, we're doing for us as well, but even by thinking of others, we're doing it for us. So then we come to this power of remedy, the medicine. And this is where we purify, first of all, the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jida Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Sutukaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And now we come to the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around, enters your crown, and fills your entire being. So it happens as instantaneously as you just flick on a switch in a dark room and the light comes. So you imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, anxiety, depression, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Drita me boa, Situkaya me boa, Sipokaya me boa, Anorakta me boa, Sawasidi me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our suffering, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And then think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. So you imagine the light, the nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativities of the body, and the nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativities of the speech. And then the light comes and just blasts all of your delusions, and it happens all at the same time. And this way, you completely eradicate even those very, very subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the fourth and final step in the purification process, and that's the power of resolve. So here we just have to decide, I don't want to harm. We can start by wanting to refrain from harming. So first of all, rejoice in your extraordinary efforts in coming along with so much commitment and dedication night after night. And just really, really think about what that takes. And rejoice in that. And then think about something you'd like to work on. And all this stuff we're working on, it's really surface dirt. It's not really who you are. That's why we can, in fact, purify it. Because it was who you were, we wouldn't be able to get rid of it. But who you really are is extraordinary light. That's who you really are. Beautiful light. So all the delusions are removable. Like you can clean them with a bit of bleach. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light, and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, let's just imagine a little bit of emptiness. So you think in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, you place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do verses chanting the names of Manjushri. Atop pain's remedy, the Mahayana, with Vajradharma as his mighty weapon, with Vajra depth, renown as Jinajik, with Vajra thought, aware of how things are, perfecting all perfections perfectly, adorned by all the grounds of bodhisattvas, the selflessness of pure phenomena, with the luster that is moonlight unto knowledge, with great endeavors as illusory nets, the foremost master ruling every tantra, endowed in full with every Vajra posture, completely furnished with all wisdom bodies. All right, everybody, lots of love. Let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long and have a very happy birthday week celebration, which sounds like it's what's happening. And for Hello Source, I see you there. And for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche. All right. Lots of love, everyone. And I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Shayla. Good night, everyone.